AEW Dynasty 2025 could mark a game-changing moment in the company's history. As of right now, AEW is in a bit of a transformation. Many stars have left, others have replaced them, and it looks like this new crop of AEW talent, led by the likes of Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, and Tony Storm, are truly about to take the mantle fully as the company's top acts. And while many of them, you could argue, are already in that role, this coming Sunday is going to be the ultimate test for this, because I believe that AEW needs to, pardon the pun, go all in on this transformation and have Jon Moxley be defeated by Swerve Strickland and crown Swerve for the second time the new All Elite Wrestling World Champion. Now, the reason for this comes down to two big things that I will go into in this video. First being just how god-awful this Death Rider storyline has been, and also what it symbolizes for the future. All that much more coming up right here in this video, so be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. Let's dive right in. So, as I mentioned before, Jon Moxley, Swerve Strickland are set to face off in what many are calling a bit of a dream match. We have not seen these two go toe-to-toe for the AEW World Championship before, and certainly not this version of Swerve Strickland challenge for the AEW World title. If you remember, back in 2024, Swerve was going into that year's Dynasty as the challenger. He had never won the title before, and he had been riding a storm, a wave, if you will, of absolute fan adrenaline that had led him all the way up to the title picture. And a lot of it is because of the work that Swerve has put in over the years, but it was also a case of Swerve being the right guy at the right time and just having every bit of enthusiasm to take that mantle at the top. And Swerve and Moxley right now is an awesome match on paper. The only issue is that it is in the midst of Jon Moxley being one of the worst storytellers in all of professional wrestling right now. Don't hate me, internet. The Death Rider storyline is something that has been chastised both by pundits and fans alike over the past 6 months. It has not produced the level of story. It has not produced the level of payoff that fans originally thought. Some of that may be due to the fact that many fans, like myself, tricked themselves into thinking that this could be leading to something bigger like Shane McMahon or a higher power. Many people also point to this idea of AEW doing this meta storyline where the older veteran is making these young guys kind of step up and take that world championship and take that brass ring, which on paper I think sounds a lot better than you could have ever executed it, because what you're basically saying is no one on this roster that you watch every single week is ready to take that mantle, and they're all kind of just jobber jabroni marks. But that obviously is not what AEW wanted to do. It's just kind of what happened. And on top of that, you have Moxley not only just doing these god-awful rambling promos that no one cares about, but there's also a part of this that I think is symbolic of everything that is wrong with the world title picture in AEW right now. Right now, the AEW World Championship is hidden away in a briefcase. No one has seen it ever since Moxley won it back at WrestleDream 2024, and the likelihood is you're not going to see it until Moxley ends up losing that belt. And this goes against everything that we as fans believe that World Championship represents. The AEW World Championship has been propped up for the past couple of years to be the richest prize in this business. That is what they tell you. That is what the storylines are all about. That is the end game of all of this. Everyone wants that belt because they know that when you hold that belt around your shoulder, around your waist, it proves that you are the best wrestler in the world. And you have that championship to serve as all of the evidence you would ever need. But by taking that world championship away from TV, by taking that world championship away out of the picture entirely, what AEW has done is they have devalued the world title itself. They're not only hurting as far as the storylines, but I do think that when that AEW World Championship does come back, I don't think it's going to immediately have all of the hype and all of the aura that it once did right out of the gate immediately, because people associate it with just bad television. And much like how we've seen bad title reigns kind of take a little bit of the shine off of world titles in the past. You go back and you look at Jinder's world title reign. AJ winning it immediately did not change things. It didn't take until like Kofi Kingston won it at WrestleMania for that title to really be seen again as a major championship in WWE. And for AEW, I think they're going to be facing a very similar case, which is precisely why I believe that it is vital that Swerve beats Moxley. Swerve Strickland represents everything good about the future of AEW. He represents work ethic. He represents talent. He represents it all coming together and being the guy to lead the company forward. And much like this meta storyline that Moxley tried to tell with the Death Riders, I do think that guys like Swerve, guys like Will Ospreay, girls like Toni Storm, Mariah May, and others are symbolic of what AEW's future should be. And it's one thing to talk about this future because we have been harping about AEW's future and all the potential and all of that for years. But right now, they have a chance to put their chips on the table and actually deliver on that future. You have guys like Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay who you know can tell elite level storylines. You don't need Jon Moxley necessarily to do it. That doesn't mean Moxley can't be in the world title picture again at some point. But right now, it is important for you to cement these people as your key stars because they are going to be here when other guys might not be. And if you want to sell stadiums out, if you want to do this expansion that AEW is trying to do in 2026, they're going back to Wembley Stadium. They seem to be going back to Australia. They're going to have another Japan show that they're going to need to sell tickets for. You want to do all of that, you're going to need big time stars. And you're going to need that title in order to help build those stars. And you're going to need that title to help tell those storylines. Point is, you got to fix some stuff right now. And there's no time like the present because this Moxley thing is not working. It's really bad, guys. It's really fucking bad. So Swerve wins the belt. I think that would not only elevate Swerve into another stratosphere that I didn't even believe he could even be in, but it would also allow the title some time before the next guy, who I think we all agree is probably going to win it at some point, wins it, and it is perfectly at that level that people need it to be at to take that guy seriously in his first title reign, and that is Will Ospreay. And I want to be clear about this. This does not mean that Swerve is a transitional champion, because Swerve Strickland was the guy last year who had all of the momentum behind him. He was the guy who was on the come up. He was the guy who was looking to get his first AEW World Championship and set history as the first ever Black AEW World Champion. And that last part aside, I think this title win is more about reinforcing all of that and reinforcing Swerve as a star, but it's also about setting the table for the next guy. It is about setting the table for the Swerve Strickland of this year, who is, I believe, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay is indicative, much like Swerve, of the future of AEW. And as far as he goes, the company will go. And you want to sell out Wembley Stadium in 2026, you want to sell out tickets for Forbidden Door later this year, you're going to need to have a red-hot Will Ospreay in order to help do it. This will not mean that you can't ever go back to Moxley as a champion, because I do believe that Jon Moxley can still be one of your top guys. I just don't think that this storyline is the best way of going about it. And that is why at Dynasty, I wouldn't just have Jon Moxley be defeated by Swerve in, a really evenly matched contest. I would have Swerve bury Jon Moxley. I would have Swerve beat that man senseless in 2 minutes and win the AEW World Championship. Make it a statement win. Make it one of the biggest world title shockers we've ever seen. Make it something that people will remember. And do it for the people. Because I promise you, the most over person in AEW the next day would 100% be Swerve if he gets rid of the Death Riders in that fashion. So that's my plea. That's my hope. That's my prayer. Let's see if it happens. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Do you think Swerve should job out Jon Moxley at AEW Dynasty? Do you think that's even going to happen? Am I just capping? Am I just in over my head? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. Be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.